the masterminds of all these activities are the one that we are after. We don't want to go to these other fringe players. We want to go to the people who are the brains behind this thing that happens, almost every year, so that we can put a stop to this madness. Wale wamehama. So far, actually what we've confirmed and we've got details are 20 households. My estimation remains about 150 people, but in terms of households, there are 20. But you remember there's one household we went which had about 7 houses. So there were about almost 7-8 people living there. Wale wametoka. Unajua kama nyumba zimechomwa sasa wanatoka wote. Unapata boma iko na nyumba kama 8. Si ndio? Hiyo ni boma moja lakini kuna nyumba 8 hapo. So tunahesabu kama one household, but unajua kuna watu 8 ambao wamekuwa displaced. So wakati kusaidia kutoa msaada tunajua tunasaidia watu 8.
And how about the herders? I understand you've done the aerial survey. The herders that you've given 48 hours, are all of them out of this Laikipia Nature Conservancy?
The herders were not given 48 hours. The people who are given 48 hours are the senior officials, politicians, security officers, serving and retired, who had animals in the Laikipia Nature Conservancy, and we had the conduct and the number of animals that were there. So they were given 48 hours to move out. A majority of them have moved out.
Maybe lastly from me, there are 2 politicians who were arrested yesterday, Mpurkel and the TRTMP. Are there more arrests that we should expect going forward?
Yeah. Higher, not lower.
And maybe, Mr. Natembeya, you've been very categorical saying that this is a displacement of persons and it's not about pasture, but then again, you understand there's drought in the northern part of this country. So what really is the situation on the ground here, and what could have prompted this quote-unquote displacement of persons as you've been putting it for the last few days?
I've been saying that because when the owner of a parcel of land or a ranch or a conservancy tells you that I've got more than I need, and I can see I've got challenges in terms of pasture, let's come sit down and see how we're going to assist you. And then you refuse because you've got a firearm. And you come and cause a lot of mayhem. You are grazing illegally there, and you are stealing livestock from the neighboring communities. Number 2, when the CS gave that 7 days ultimatum, genuine herders left within those 7 days, but the people didn't leave. And now we're having that narrative of some of these political leaders saying, okay, we'll remove our animals, but when they're out, we're now going to bring our own militia, the Morans, now to fight with government. What's the purpose of fighting government? What are we fighting over between us and those militia? There are people who are targeting those parcels of land. The truth must be said, and we won't allow them to do that. If you look at this area, all these places, all these chunks of land, there are no houses there. And this is private land. People own this land. But bandits have made it impossible for them to live here. There are no houses. Look at the kind of house that are built here. And all this land is titled, including that Nagum. Nagum is 40,000 acres. But the owners are not there. Including that even those people who abandoned Nagum, at some point, they'll feel secure enough to come back to the parcels of land. Because even this mess you are seeing here, it's not even cultivated by the actual owners. No, the other people just come, they hire a few people, wanalima, wanavuna, wanaenda. Ukikuja shamba nakwambia pana, wacha tuongea next year, tujipange vile nitakulipa. Hakulipi tena anaenda. The actual owners are not the ones who are cultivating this maize. Yeah.
So maybe in terms of the resumption of normalcy, we can see today some shops have opened up here in Olmoran. Are there schools that had been closed, more than 5 had been closed? Have learning resumed in some of the schools within Olmoran, or still learning has been grounded here?
No, what we are planning, because now many of these schools, the learning wasn't disrupted because there were any acts of lawlessness in those schools. But they were closed because now you see people passing by your school and they're carrying mattresses, they're running away, on donkey carts and so forth. Inaleta ile hali kusema taharuki. Tunataka kuondoa taharuki. Tukishaondoa taharuki, watu watarudi nyumbani. Wazazi watarudi nyumbani, wakija nyumbani watakuja na watoto wao, alafu wanaenda shuleni. That's why we are working very hard to ensure that by weekend, a level of normalcy will have returned in this place.